Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Astronomy Answered Simply. Today's question is kind of interesting and it gets you wondering. Will mankind ever explore space similar to the kind of exploration in Star Trek, or is that simply impossible given the speed of light being a factor? Are the distances just too great? So, I, for one, would love to believe that we will explore Star Trek style at some point in the future. I want to believe that. But that does not jive with the laws of physics as we know it. The laws of physics state that in order to move at or faster than at the speed of light, one has to be light. Matter would have to become energy because light is pure energy. That's the equation E equals mc squared. Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. So the reality is the distances are just too great. However, it could still be possible, not necessarily Star Trek style, because the energy requirements, even though, let me preface this, mathematically it is possible without violating the universe, the laws of physics, to travel faster than the speed of light. It's been proven mathematically. That does not mean we are capable of engineering something, because the amount of energy required is literally the amount of energy from black holes. Because in order to travel at faster than light speeds, mathematically, you have to warp space-time ahead of and behind the spaceship. So here's my spaceship. I need to warp space-time and cause it to curve and shrink ahead of the ship, which in theory creates, kind of like in Star Trek, a warp field or a warp bubble around the ship that would then move it through space faster than the speed of light without violating general relativity. But the problem is that would take more energy than you could fit inside that ship for now. There's a reason in science fiction ships have artificial, they call it 0 point energy or vacuum energy or, some kind of, fantasy energy source that provides this mythical, unbelievable amount of power. It doesn't exist, at least not that we know. We have not unlocked that level of physics. We don't have that understanding. I would love to hope that one day we will, but it's a slim hope because the universe is enormous. I personally feel like there is other life out there. There's probably other planets. I look up at the Andromeda Galaxy and I figured there's at least one person in that galaxy staring up at the sky, looking at the Milky Way galaxy, going, I wonder if there's life over there. At the same time, I'm looking up at them. Chances are there's a planet similar to Earth or with some other life form out there. The thing is, they are 2.5 million light years away. The radio signals we've been beaming out for 75, 80 years now will not get to the Andromeda Galaxy for 2.5 million years. Even if they can pick it out from all the background noise of all the other stars and all the other, radiation in our from our galaxy, if it would be detectable at that distance. I highly doubt it. I doubt anyone outside a few thousand light years will be able to, decipher our radio waves. Our galaxy could be teeming with life, and if they were only a few thousand years older than us, but they're 100,000 light years away, they're not. We're not going to know about them for another 90,000 years or 95,000 years. I mean, it's just the distances involved are enormous. It takes us. It took us what 3 to 5 days to get to the moon. It's like 45,000 miles. I mean, it's space is so huge that it's almost unfathomable. When you start to understand it, you can literally go insane because it's that enormous. Um, our galaxy alone would take, at sublight speeds, it would take us probably a billion years to explore the galaxy at sublight speeds if we could actually create the technology to do it at sublight speeds. We're pretty ingenuitive and we're pretty stubborn and we're explorative by nature if we don't kill ourselves through pandemics or through nuclear war or some other human stupidity. We I fully expect we will try and explore stars. We're risk takers. That's what we do as humans. We take risks. We go and explore. But the reality is, until right now, with our understanding of physics, I don't see us doing Star Trek style exploration anytime soon. Any science fiction show, keep in mind, the speeds are irrelevant. Even some of the ones that do a fantastic job of simulating physics, the speed of a ship is the speed of a plot. All right? The speed of the ship always moves at the speed of the plot of the story. The story is central, the physics is secondary. That's what you have to understand about science fiction shows and books and stuff. Um, I read, I love astronomy, I love physics. I look at astronomy pictures and study stars all the time. But I read a lot of science fiction because I'm also a dreamer and I also hope that one day maybe this will become a reality. Maybe there are levels of physics we don't understand. I have no proof of it. I can hope, but I'm very pragmatic and I believe, in science. I believe in what I can test and what I can see. And the reality is, every time we try to test Einstein, his theories continuously prove themselves. Um, but again, we're slowly building our model of the universe and we're getting to points that are smaller and smaller that we understand. Maybe we'll finally suddenly realize that, oh my gosh, there's a whole new universe at this ultra tiny level that we can use to manipulate things. But again, that's just hope. And we don't really know what the source of all this is. Some people will say it's a god. I have no faith in that whatsoever. I think we're personally just random chance. Um, but people need hope or people need something to cling to. I cling to reality. I try to be a good person. Sometimes I'm not. I try to educate. Hopefully, I do. I try to enlighten. Um, I have little tolerance for junk science and bad data, but I am always willing to explore and listen to new ideas because I love to dream also, and I'm human, and I want to see us explore. I want to see the stars. I want to set foot on another planet someday. So I hope we do. But right now, given physics, given our understandings, it doesn't look good. It looks like we'll be limited to exploring at sublight speeds, which means decades at the minimum. Uh, there was one answer on that question that said, if you can do constant acceleration between us and, say, Alpha Centauri, you could get there in about 3.5, 4 years subjective time, 5 years observer time, something like that, which is true. But we aren't even close to that level of engineering right now to be able to build a ship that could do that. I mean, we're at least 500 to 1,000 years away from that with our engineering. And that's even, you know, sticking with, you know, assuming we're doubling our rate of development every, you know, few years like we used to. Um, so for now, we need to get off our planet and start exploring just our solar system. Um, Science fiction gives us things to shoot for, but the reality is engineering's a lot harder than we make it out to be in books and stories. I'm John Tedeschi. Thank you. Like, subscribe, ask questions, and have a great day. Bye bye.